Water.
Earth.
Fire.
Air.
The false Avatar Yun and his destructive campaign of revenge is at an end, brought down by the true Avatar Kyoshi. But the delay in locating and training her, as well as the disastrous actions of Earth Sage Jianzhu, have left the Earth Kingdom weak and vulnerable. Bandit groups known as Dao Fei vie for power and territory, and even the citizens behind the walls of Ba Sing Se are not safe. Remnants of the Fifth Nation, a southern water tribe pirate group, and the Yellownecks, a particularly brutal outlaw organisation, still linger in the shadows, waiting for the opportunity to strike. With the Earth Kingdom in disarray and Kyoshi needing competent allies to help restore balance, who will answer the call?
G'day, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Keeko Moo, Waterbender from the Southern Water Tribe, and I'm just looking for a good time.
Hello, my name's Andrew. I'm playing Jedd, the disgraced Airbender.
Hello, my name is Archie. I play Ted, the Airbender. I'm traveling with my brother Jedd to assist Kyoshi in her fight.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I'm playing Lilly Hannah from the Earth Kingdom, and she is a small child who gets in trouble.
Hi, I'm Dragon. I'm playing the character Tilla, who is a Sandbender from the Earth Nation.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Avatar Legends campaign, The Legacy of Kyoshi, which starts right now. Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of The Legacy of Kyoshi may contain adult language or adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everybody. Hello there, and welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here, we are back, we are playing the premiere Avatar Legends campaign, Legacy of Kyoshi, right here on twitch.tv/The Lost Archives, live at sort of around 7:15, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and on YouTube and the podcast platform of your choice, most often around 5 a.m. Friday mornings, Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we are very stoked to have all of you join us once again. We have I guess I was going to call it an apology, but he hasn't apologized. So I guess a fuck you from Andrew tonight, who hasn't shown up. Let's really accurate. Can we cancel him for this? I think we probably can. Let's see if we can cancel Andrew.
Being the only person to respond in the group chat and then not showing up. The audacity of this man.
The audacity.
Yeah, he sent a gift, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He said, let's
more effort than a normal.
He did. He sent an Uncle Roger, let's do it.
Yep.
And it didn't show.
I only just thumbs up it about half an hour ago.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. That's actually more notice than I normally get from you, Archie.
Yeah, well, look. It's been a busy day.
It's been a busy day. In terms of fun announcements, I'll play the character of Jedd until we either see Andrew or we don't. Rejoining us tonight, who has just turned her camera off. Perfect timing, Dragon. We missed you last week. Lovely to have you back this week.
Yeah, sorry, I just had no energy yet last week.
That is all okay.
I also really don't have any energy this week either.
That's okay
but
too.
I am here. And I went to a concert on Sunday. I went to see Hans Zimmer.
Oh,
and it was fucking amazing.
What was that? Was he doing scores from recent films? Was it some of his other stuff?
Not recent, just like his live
best of
playlist. So he did like June, Pirates of the Caribbean,
also great.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Yeah, cool.
Inception.
Yep. Best of.
Dark Knight.
Also fantastic.
He also did X-Men Black Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Whichever
Dark
really
Phoenix,
bad one that happened, and he's just like, we don't talk about the movie.
But the music was great.
But we like the music, so we're gonna do it anyway.
Did he do any Prince of Egypt or Spirit?
No, but he did do
Madagascar,
Lion King, and that was fucking amazing.
Did Hans Zimmer do the music for Prince of Egypt?
Yeah.
No wonder it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Okay, well that explains why it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Cool.
Boss baby?
He did. What? No, fuck off. He did.
Have you just pulled up the Google?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
He did not.
I knew that
no
he did
way.
Egypt.
No.
He did Prince of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
He did not do. He did do Boss Baby.
Right
yes,
there.
he did. It turns out he did.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Hans
okay.
never did do.
You remember when Boss Baby fights Count Dooku and you hear... dun, 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 dun.
I don't remember that. That's weird. Did that come
Oh,
up?
crazy.
Yeah.
I think I watched
It
it.
was-
It happened.
Oh, he also did The Last Samurai as well. That was
Oh, that's one of what's his name? Not Ted Cruz.
Tom Cruise. I would pay good money. I would pay good money to have The Last Samurai remade with Ted Cruz in it instead. I would pay good money to watch that because I think that would be fucking hilarious.
Deport all these illegals.
Oh my god. Fucking hell. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it was fucking
imagine.
amazing.
Yeah, I've
And
I've done. Oh, sorry,
what
you
the
go.
craziest thing? So they did the Lion King, and he also did the Gladiator. That's another one.
Yeah.
So he had like all of like the original singers that did all of those
Oh, amazing.
the first tracks with him. And for the Lion King, because that movie came out in 1994, by the way. Really
Good year.
fucking old
Really,
movie.
really
Nice.
good year, 94.
Same year I was born. That's making me
Same
feel
here,
pretty
up
old
top.
right now.
Fuck, we're old.
But yeah, so he had the original vocalist that did the vocals for Lion King.
Yeah.
Yep. And also his daughter was there who wasn't even born yet.
It's pretty crazy. That makes me feel very old.
It's
Thank you for that,
wild.
Dragon. Thank you for that.
You're
Right.
old, what can I say?
Well, on that depressing note, let's start the session. I've got a really thorough recap to get us back into the zone of things. Sorry there hasn't been any Baldur's Gate 3 streams the last couple of days. I've been a bit sick, unfortunately, when we came back from Melbourne. I'm feeling a bit better tonight, but yesterday and this morning, I was really out of it, and my voice seems to disappear every so often. So if I do lose it tonight, I did lose it partway through Curse of Strahd. Work with me. I will try and limit the more difficult, gravelly voices that seem to not play so nicely with my vocal box tonight.
Let's just go and find every NPC.
Yeah. We're going straight to the pub. We're going straight to the smoker's room in the pub, and we're going like, I want to talk to that person.
Hiya!
love.
How you doing? Hey, welcome. Yeah.
We need to find Craig.
Oh, he drowned.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, we'll just do that. That perfect. Easily sorted. Awesome. Let's do our recap. Let's jump into the session. Right on cue. I'm gonna start coughing. It has been 3 years since the false avatar Yun has been struck down, and the world now knows the name of the true avatar, Kyoshi. With the Earth Kingdom weak and vulnerable, Kyoshi and her partner Rangi have moved out to the Yokoya Peninsula, sending out a message to each of the 4 nations. Come and help the avatar build a better future. Answering the call are brothers Ted and Jedd of the Air Nation, Keeko of the Southern Water Tribe, Lilly from Ba Sing Se, and Tilla of the Siwong Oasis. Having joined forces with some pirate hunters and Avatar Kyoshi, the group have brought the bounties from the pirates back to the Southern Water Tribe, along with the disgraced son of the chief of Wolf Cove. However, things quickly went south, the chief fully aware of his son's activities with the Fifth Nation and turning on the group. With the guards closing in on Keeko, Sonak and the pirate hunters, and preparing to evict the rest of the team, Kyoshi relented and whispered a code word to Lilly, unleashing chaos. While the group did their best to turn the guards against the chief, Lilly set a bomb underneath the chieftain's throne, which some targeted airbending almost immediately detonated, killing the chief and bringing the fight to a sudden and swift end. While Sonak mourned the death of his father, despite his cruelty, the rest of the team made their way back outside, only to be confronted by Tilla and Yara, who had been cashing in the bounties and removing all traces of Keeko's wanted posters. Deciding to try and source some furs and food to bring back to Yokoya as replacement for the shipments lost to the pirates, Keeko and Lilly travelled across the docks to meet with the black market supplier, stealing a shiny box while there. Meanwhile, Jedd discovered their boat had been sunk and their pirate captive Crake had fled on a fishing boat. Commissioning a shipwright to repair the boat, Jedd returned with the news to the others. Meanwhile, Tilla, Ted, and Jedd were startled from their rest by the arrival of 4 figures wearing dark robes, requesting to speak with the Avatar. Inviting them inside, the trio were introduced to Rosalie, Jai, Randul, and Rhinor, travellers who seemed to recognise the group, and began asking a lot of questions about them and their journeys with the Avatar. With the newcomers seeking to speak with Avatar Kyoshi and accompany both her and the group back to Yokoya, Ted managed to convince them that they would find them in town once Kyoshi had returned from her walk. Keeko and Lilly returned to the group soon after the newcomers had departed, proud of their recent fur purchases. However, the rest of the group were less than impressed, eventually sending Tilla, Keeko, and Co. out to buy food supplies and more useful furs than had previously been acquired. Meanwhile, Kyoshi, Lilly, and the brothers began to search for the newcomers, quickly interrupted by the return of Cyan, who had come straight from the Longhouse. Taking the brothers dim aside, he did not hold back in his disappointment in Ted and Jedd, revealing that in light of recent events, they were both no longer welcome in the Air Nation temples. The brothers soon rejoined Kyoshi and Lilly, who had located the newcomers once again, and were chatting happily with them, enjoying some burnt butter cookies. While catching up with these newcomers, the team soon learned they were members of the Black Orchid, a specialist group within the White Lotus, whose task it was to protect the Avatar from danger. Recent events had resulted in the party sidetracking to Little Island with the Avatar that had actually ended up triggering the Black Orchid to be dispatched, and they were keen to ensure Kyoshi was safely returned to Yokoya. During this conversation, Lilly decided to use her spiritual connection to call out to Tomiko, hoping to warn her of the interest the Black Orchid was showing, but instead accidentally contacted Commander Eskar of the Dai Li, learning that she had been hunting Lilly. Attempting to break off the connection, Lilly was unfortunately too late to prevent Commander Eskar from seeing Ted, Jedd, Kyoshi, and all of the members of the Black Orchid. Agreeing to meet down at the docks and depart together back to Yokoya, the team split once more. Before departure though, Keeko decided he needed to speak with Sonak, Kyoshi accompanying him to the Longhouse. Sonak was obviously distressed and in grief, acting out when they arrived, but Keiko's words helped to calm him down, the two sharing an emotional moment, remembering what they had been through together and what was to come in the future for both of them. And that is where we left off last session, as Keeko and Kyoshi depart the Longhouse to rejoin the rest of the team. Ted, Jedd, Lilly, and Tilla, all of you had rejoined, were back together again, having met up outside the front of Ko's parents' cafe. Yara is there waiting for you. As you approach, Lilly watches Yara gives you and Tilla a little bit of a wave, gives a bit of a nod to Ted and Jedd, and pulls out of her bag a very long, rolled up scroll wrapped in what looks like waxed paper that she holds out.
I was really
towards
hoping you were going to say whip.
A really long whip. Yeah, no,
Waxed whip.
A long sheet of waxed paper wrapped around what looks like a rolled up scroll. Hey, you guys, you're back. You okay? You seem a bit down. Ted? Jedd? All good? No. Okay.
Nah. Yeah, nah. She doesn't know yet, right?
She doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we just can't really go back to the air temple anymore. Good. So we'll have to
sorry about
skip
that.
those parts. Yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
Well, I'm guessing you then
anything,
don't want one of these maps to give to the Airbender, that old guy who you were with.
No.
No, we
Okay.
still need to give it to him. I'll give it to him.
Yeah,
He's still
okay.
here, right?
You want to see me?
You actually don't know if he's still here, Ted. Last you saw, he was storming off back towards the docks.
Yeah. Cranky.
Yeah, definitely cranky.
Yeah.
He's
Thanks.
still here, Ted?
Hmm?
Is he still here? We need to give this to him before he leaves.
He might already be gone.
Well, cool. I'm going to go see if he's still here then.
Cool.
Yara, do you want to come with me? We'll run down to the docks and see if they're still here.
Yeah, no troubles. I'm happy to come with you. I haven't got anything else on today.
Sick.
Perfect. All right, follow me. I'll take you down. With that, you watch as Yara takes off, chatting with you happily, Lilly. Not really saying too much, just small talk, really. Just chatting, catching up, seeing how you're doing, asking what you've been up to.
How's the family, etc.
Yeah. Oh my god, my brother's so fucking annoying. I came in and he'd moved a whole bunch of stuff into my room while I was gone because he was like rearranging his room, and he's just the worst. He didn't even ask, and like all his stuff is everywhere, and it's such a mess right now.
You could blow him up.
Chilling.
Look, I'm ready to. It's just that like there's not a lot of like property in the Southern Water Tribe? Like Wolf Cove, like it's a pretty small area, right?
Can I rummage through my bag?
Yeah.
And one of the little like I forgot what the name of it is, but the little mechanism that I was using to make the bombs that when you like basically like landmine kind of thing, if you I want to like make like a really little like smoke bomb that if he like steps on it, it'll just puff up some smoke in his face. But I also want to mix some stinging nettles into that as well, and then get her to hide that in his stuff. Would that be skills and training?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I'd agree.
Why are you like this?
Because it's funny.
Why are you shaming me in the chat with pictures of my bed?
Oh,
hair?
that's a 3.
That's not very nice.
I'm going to give her a very broken bomb, and she's probably going to kill her brother.
As you reach in and hand over one of the little bombs, Lily, you're not... I mean, it looks like it's the smoke bomb. You're pretty sure it is as you hand it over. What's this? What's this do?
It's a little smoke bomb. So, right... what I reckon you do is you hide it amongst his stuff that he's got in your room, and then when he goes to like move some of his stuff finally, hoping that he actually does, then it'll just like puff up some smoke in his face and it'll be a really funny prank.
That's all it'll do, right? Because like I'm gonna be honest, I've seen what your stuff does. What your like it's just gonna be a bit of smoke. It's not gonna hurt him at all, is it?
Probably not.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'm convinced. And where do I put this? Like, what's it triggered by?
So just like put it under something, and so it's kind of like if you press this little button down, and I like show her like the mechanism. Press this little button down. When you then step off of it and you release it, then that's when it goes off. So if you put it underneath something that you know he's going to need to pick up, then when you pull it back, when he picks it up, then it will puff up.
All right. Cool. I can work with that. Yeah, I'll put it underneath the door or something as he steps on it. Perfect. Okay.
That'd be funny.
Cool. All right. As long as it's not going to be dangerous at all, I'm on board.
And it shouldn't be.
Okay. Great. As you make your way down towards the docks, Lily, you do indeed catch sight of the orange and yellow robes of Sayan and Lishi. They stand out against the sort of whites and blues that you see predominantly in the Water Tribe amongst the clothing. You can see that they are standing towards the end of the dock. It seems like they're in conversation, looking quite distressed. You can see Sayan very, very unhappy. His moustache is sort of shaking a little bit as he shakes his head in anger. You can see it sort of like swaying a little bit. You can see Lishi looking confused, placing a hand on his shoulder to try and like talk him down, but he seems quite angry and quite animated about something. And as you go to approach, Yara, who has not got the memo, goes, "Hi!" She starts like walking up and seeing them.
Hi, Master Sayan. Sorry to interrupt. I'm glad we caught you before you left, though. I thought you would like a copy of the map that, I'd say Yavu then. Goddamn wrong spirit. I thought you'd like a copy of the map that Artorius gave us with the little pinpoints, and I'm gonna write an account of what we find at each spot. So I figured it would be good for the archives, maybe. Sorry again to interrupt.
No, it's fine, Lily. Thank you for delivering this. I appreciate this. Have you spoken with Ted and Jedd?
Not really. Why?
No
They're
reason.
pretty mopey and quiet at the moment.
No reason.
They do something wrong.
That is for them to discuss, and for me to. I can't take that. It's not an area I should be speaking of. If you want to learn more, you'll have to speak to the brothers. But thank you for delivering this. I will make sure we take it back to the Southern Air Temple right away.
Cool. Once we've gone and checked out all the places on the map, I'll give you my my account of it all. I've started writing it in this book here. See? And I like pull it out and show him the page that we've already written about Artorius.
Thank you. Yes, there's quite a lot of information here. Wonderful. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. It was actually Jedd's idea.
Was it?
He's pretty into like giving history and holding accounts, and he thinks that it would make the world a better place to have more knowledge and power and stuff.
Hmm.
Well, not power, but knowledge is power, you know?
Yes, I can see where he might get that idea from, unfortunately. Thank you.
Unfortunately, what do you mean?
Knowledge is not to be used as power, my dear. Knowledge should be used to empower. There's a difference.
The Earth Queen reckons that knowledge is power.
The
But I
Earth
reckon she's on the wrong side of things.
The Earth Queen, unfortunately, has fallen very far from what I would describe as benevolence. She is of course, the Earth Nation has the right to govern itself, and we are not in a position to be making judgments upon them, but it is not how the Air Nation does things.
No, you just judge from afar.
You watch as he gives you a bit of an interesting look, raising one eyebrow. Allow me to judge from up close, then. I know that these explosives are coming from one of your group, and I strongly suspect, Lilly, that you are the one responsible for them. Do not let me find out any more information that I would have to pass on to the relevant authorities.
Fair enough.
Peace be with both of you. Come, Lishi,
See
we
you
must
soon.
depart.
Bye.
That you watch as Lishi and Seon pull out their kites, take off. Crisp morning air as they rise up over the bay and begin to make their way back out over the ocean towards the Southern Air Temple. Back with Keeko, Ted, Jedd, and Tilla. As you watch Lilly take off with Yara, 4 of you are standing there. Ko's with you as well, I should say. Ko is also with you, Keeko. As you... Actually, yeah, sorry, Keeko. As Jedd and Tilla are outside, you and Kyoshi arrive back from the longhouse, making your way back towards the cafe. Ko running out as he sees you, heading on up to you, sort of putting a hand on your shoulder, looking at you guys, going, "You okay? Was it all right?"
Not gonna lie, it didn't go well at first. Did it, Kyoshi? No. But it got better. And I think, yeah, I think he's better now. He's a bit on edge. So be kind. Be chill. Maybe don't mention his dad for a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here for much longer either. I'm coming with you lot. I know.
Yeah. No, you're definitely coming with us. That was my overall sentiment for like anyone that you meet or know. If anyone asks about him, that's my sentiment. Be chill, be kind. He was having a meltdown. I'm not going to lie. Things were being broken. He wanted me to steal things because a lot of people stole things from him and his dad.
What kind of things? What kind of stuff was stolen? That's a bit unfortunate that people were like looting the longhouse moments after his dad was killed.
Wine, silverware, bedding, furs, a bit of everything. People stolen. But I promised him that we'll come back. So when we go back to Yokoya Island, we'll have to make a trip back here, Ko.
Oh, I mean, my family's here. Of course we're going to be. I mean, I'm going to be traveling back to check in on the family. It's not that far. It's only a couple of days. Only a couple of days journey.
That's what I was saying. It's easy. You need to come back and see your family anyway. Our families need to get together at some point. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Things would be good. He's got to be a good chief. He just needs a couple days. Maybe a month.
Okay.
That'll be good.
All right. Well, okay. That sounds good.
But what happened here when we were gone? Had everything been chill here? Like Kyoshi and I had a good time.
Kyoshi looks at you, looks back and goes, "You and I have a very different definition of what a good time is." It was.
You're a great wing woman, Kyoshi.
We did the right thing. If by doing a good thing, I guess we did have a good time. But like that was very
See?
Sure. Yes, I'd be curious. Did those strangers, the ones who are calling themselves the Black Orchid, we have agreed to kind of meet them down at the docks, make our way out of Wolf Cove this evening. You were organising some shipments of food and furs, right, Ko? Yeah, I've got them all sorted. All done. Yeah, they should be down at the docks too. I went and checked on the boat as well. Jedd had apparently told some guy he would pay him to fix the boat. You watch, and as you turn around, Jedd's not there. Ted, you were sure he was right behind you a moment ago.
He's I don't know.
Does he
his runarounds.
Do this often? He did do this before when we were upstairs. He just took off partway through, like climbed out the window and took off.
Yeah. I guess I could go look for him later.
Do you want to?
He'll be fine.
He'll come find us, surely. Like, he knows where we're going.
Now. I'm not going to do it now.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
if it gets late, then I might go find him, but there's no point now.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, no, look, all that's organised. They should be down at the docks now with the boat. I went and checked on the boat. The shipwreck guy apparently been paid by Jedd up front, so that's all been done. The boat's ready to go. I think there's only one thing left to do, and that's head down there ourselves, unless there's anything else you guys needed to do before we leave. I've checked with the parents. They know what's going on. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys need to do before we take off?
No, not really.
I think we're pretty good. We got supplies.
We got everything we need, right?
We made reparations with our, friends and everything. Lilly and everyone there with us as well? Or no, she headed off, didn't she? Okay, yeah, so I've still got the box on me. Okay, cool.
The flooded box.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just soggy now.
It's a wet
Soggy box.
You got a wet box.
I've got a wet box. Yeah, I'm water tribe. Yeah. I think we're good to go back home. I think it's been a long trip, and by a long trip, realistically, it's been like 4 days. I think it's time we head back home.
You guys have been gone for more than 4 days. It's been almost a week. More than a week,
It's been a
actually.
week.
Feels like a year and a half.
As you make your way down towards the docks and back to your boat, you can see that the boat has been moved from where it was originally positioned. Lilly, the others meet you down as you have finished catching up with Sayan. As you begin to walk along the side of the docks, Yara pointing out stuff. You notice your boat is gone from the dock where it had currently been, or you'd last seen it. And as you kind of look around, you realize it's been moved far over to the northern end of the dock. And as you make your way over that direction, you can see it's now positioned only a few berths away from a large Fire Nation vessel with black sails. And as you make your way over to the boat, you see some familiar figures getting their ship ready, along with a figure you don't recognize. The members of the Black Orchid are currently chatting with someone who you haven't seen with them previously, but appears to be working with them, or even one of them. Quite a slim woman, long black hair, dressed in the moment with very sort of simple black-red clothing. The cloak over her shoulder, much more of a half cloak with the hood down. And you can see she's, looks quite young, mid-20s, you'd guess. Fire Nation,
25?
judging by the looks of her. Mid-20s, judging by the look of her. And you can see that she is, orangey red eyes, very typical of the Fire Nation. You can see she's currently working away, having a bit of a chat to Jai, the airbender who you'd spoken to previously. The others seem to be chatting with her as if they recognize her and know her, but you haven't seen her before, and there was no mention of her previously with the other members of the Black Orchid. Did you want to roll and assess a situation? Did you want to... What would you like to do?
I think we just go, right?
Just go?
Are we all here together, or is it just...
I'm more than happy for you to catch up. I'm more than happy if you guys to have caught up with Lilly as she sort of like pauses. You catch this Lilly looking with Yara for the boat as you kind of pause and look across, seeing her squinting a little bit as you try and identify who this stranger is. You hear the sound of Ko walking behind you. Yeah, the boat's just up here. I had it moved after we got the repairs all finished. And because Ko knows where it is, marching behind you. You see the rest of the gang all walking down. Your ship that has been repaired, you can see there are a number of crates stacked up on the deck. Currently in position. probably the fur and food that Ko has paid for and organised. Well, that you paid for and Ko has organised.
If I'm there for the crew, I'd like to do a little assess the situation if I can see what's going on. With
I'm just gonna like lean towards him and be like, "Who's that? Do we know that one?"
Nah, but I reckon it's probably like the granddaughter of the old lady.
Because they're both Fire Nation.
Yeah, maybe like the great granddaughter.
Are you being racist again? Just assuming that all Fire Nation people are related?
No, I'm pretty sure. I know something tells me. Something's telling me that there's great grandchild.
This is your last warning. Stop looking at the Discord.
What
This
do
is
you
your
mean?
final warning. This is your final warning.
This is called metagaming, Archie.
This is your final warning, Archie.
But no, Owen said that there's no such thing as metagaming in Avatar.
That's not true.
That's like we
Behave.
talk to each other.
That's only in relation to like strategizing, battle strategies, and things like that. Like we can talk outside of our characters.
Sounds like
and have an
metagaming.
idea.
No, they're very different things. Metagaming is just
No.
using knowledge that you have that your character wouldn't have. This is exactly word for word
You have
what
to
you're
play
doing
dumb.
right now. You little sneak.
So bad at this.
You've been naughty, my son. I'm
Situation
going
here,
to
Brendan.
punish you for this later.
Oh, yes.
If I assess situation, I guess I don't know anything about.
Roll an assess
Roll
situation.
one.
Let's see what you get.
You know what? This will be fun. Assess to the title. That's an
Are we all
11.
doing this?
All right, so
Only if you
it's
want to.
the granddaughter of the. I'm joking.
What would you like to know, Keeko?
I would like to. Okay, one, I'd like to get a feeling of if there's anything I need to be worried about, just from a vibe perspective, from looking at those people. As I'm talking on that, I'm literally vibe checking them right now. It's 100% what Keeko's up to. Vibe check. And
This is where
then
we're at now.
I would like to see if we're being like just watched by anyone in particular. Like if there's anyone that's like just
Paying too much attention.
might be suspicious. Too much attention. That's the
Yeah,
way to
someone's
put it.
their gaze lingers too long upon your body, Keeko, more than is appropriate.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah,
That's
exactly
very
right.
sure.
Yeah, Ko, 100%. You can see Ko's eyes
Stop
linger
it.
on your biceps as they move down. Yeah. As you look across, weirdly enough, Ted's racist offhand comment, unfortunately in this case, does seem to have some validity. There is a bit of a family resemblance. There is a bit of a family resemblance between this new young woman and Granny Rosalie. You can see that the hairline is very similar. You can see the nose is quite similar. The chin's quite similar. There's a lot of similarities there. More than just surface level. You do think they're likely related. In terms of people looking too long, yeah, just out of the corner of your eye, Keeko, as you approach your boat and get ready to jump on board, you see the rest of the Black Orchid. You notice movement right out of the corner of your eye. As you turn to look around, you're not even sure what it is that grabs your attention. The movement, maybe the hairs on the back of your neck rising, but you see a figure step back behind one of the market stalls as you go to turn. You catch a glimpse of them though. Sandy overcoat, sandy cloak, hiding most of their clothing underneath, but you can see a flash of what looks like green from underneath, this dark green coloration. Not too dissimilar from the tunic that Lilly wears in terms of its color. And the sandy overcoat not too dissimilar from Tilla's.
Okay.
Oh shit! I just realized.
Ko,
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, my gaze was lingering too long upon your biceps.
I do like for chat and just like doing one of those like overhead scratches where you flex your bicep a little, like sorry.
Can you reach the mainsail?
stretching it.
Just up there, Keeko. Could you just reach that mainsail for me?
Oh, you mean that one
Yeah,
over
that one.
there?
That's it. That one there.
That one over there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I've been listening. Thank you very much. I need more protein, but I'm catching up to you, Ko. You better watch it out.
Yeah, apparently.
But just a thought.
Yeah.
two things. I think the old lady and the Black Orchid and that girl, they could be related, but I think we're also being watched. Do you mind keeping an eye on me while I walk down that shady alleyway?
You're going to walk down a shady alleyway. Do you want me to keep watch from here, or do you want me to be close enough to actually be helpful for when you inevitably get jumped?
The latter, actually, is probably better. I'd like to think the second option is the best one. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'll just follow a bit behind you, looking inconspicuous.
Yeah, inconspicuous. You get to look at me from behind, and I get to find out who the hell is watching us.
Oh, yeah, true.
Done?
Good.
He's going to be staring at your ass.
Hell
and
yeah.
Go for it.
Keeko, what did you see?
Okay, so
I see a little silhouette of a man. I just realized.
One, old lady and other fire lady.
Yeah.
Related. Two,
Whatever.
sandy cloak, green shirt underneath, could be Earth Nation. Someone, I just get a feeling of being watched. We're being watched. I want to go see if I can catch him.
I rolled us a situation of an 8.
Yeah.
Based on his description, do I believe that this could in fact be who I may have accidentally spoken to last session?
If it is, they were already here, which means, like, fuck, you were already in a lot of trouble. That's pretty unlikely, Lilly. Unlikely, because you know that when you spoke to this person, they seemed surprised that you had contacted them, which means that well, they seemed surprised to be hearing your voice. They were surprised to see the avatar with you. They were surprised to see the Black Orchid, which indicates potentially that they weren't expecting you to be with the avatar or for you to be at Wolf Cove. So the fact, like, what are the chances, the coincidences that would line up for her to be here at the same time? For Commander Eskar to be here are pretty astronomical. But it doesn't mean it's not someone working for her.
Yeah, like, does that, like, just brief description that Keeko gave me sound like it could be a Dai Li member? Like, do I have any...
So your run-ins with the Dai Li are pretty limited. What you would know of the Dai Li is limited from your time in Ba Sing Se. Kyoshi had only set up the Dai Li... Is that a question, Dragon?
Yeah, who were the Dai Li?
What was that?
You should know, Dragon.
Who were the Dai Li? I don't fucking know anything.
Well, is it time to reveal
we made something
your true
last
allegiances?
session. We said something last session, and I'm sticking with it.
She's playing dumb. We're onto her. We know.
I'm assuming this is like Avatar, like actual law. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Think Earth Kingdom Secret Police corruption.
So at this point in history, the Dai Li aren't quite the...
We know.
The Dai Li aren't quite the secret police yet. So Avatar Kyoshi, from what we know in the books and what we know in the TV shows, that Avatar Kyoshi set up the Dai Li at some point during the events following the novels and before she split Yokoya Peninsula from the mainland and created Kyoshi Island. So I've accelerated the timeline a little bit. We know that she was working with a number of the security forces, and she kind of had like a proto Dai Li set up during the second book, The Shadow of Kyoshi. I think it is the second one. I think it's the second one. So I've kind of accelerated that timeline a little bit. So this is obviously taking place a couple of years after that book. The Dai Li have been set up and very quickly were taken control of, or control was basically wrested from Kyoshi and put into the hands of the nobles of Ba Sing Se. Kyoshi's the avatar. She can't be there all the time. She had to delegate and leave a lot of the running of the day-to-day to other people, which unfortunately meant that corruption very quickly set in. The nobles in Ba Sing Se saw an opportunity to take advantage of it, and at the moment, the Dai Li are kind of like a private security force / enforcement for the members of the upper ring, the members of the inner ring of Ba Sing Se. But you know, Lilly, that a number of their recruits are from the guards. That's how they were created. It was originally supposed to just be the elite members of the guard from Ba Sing Se, both the inner ring guards, the middle ring guards, which means that Commander Eskar, who you know, was one of the people who was hunting you while you were in Ba Sing Se. you were one of her her cases, shall we say? So she's
Makes
clearly but she wasn't part of the Dai Li when you were in Ba Sing Se, which means that in the space of a few months, she has risen through the ranks very fast. Scarily fast.
Yeah, still hasn't caught me though.
Which means that she's probably got connections, more than you might be aware of.
Thick one.
Yeah. Tilla, you would know that the Dai Li are essentially guards that are only in Ba Sing Se. They're like somewhat doing some of the policeman's stuff. They're like as if you took the sheriffs from the Siwang Oasis and gave them way too much power and hired them as all as bullies, set them up inside a city. It's kind of what you know. That would be your impression of them from as a sheriff.
So I don't really like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's covering for something.
Yeah.
I'm butt heads with someone at some point.
Alright, so I'm okay with you going and checking that out, but I have a feeling that it's probably going to be pretty dangerous. So if you want to just like give me my box back, that'd be good. Where you go? In case you die.
Oh, yes. The box is all yours. And I open up my coat to keep my back towards whoever's looking at me, pull the box out, give it to you, keep it safe. It's not damp. It may feel that way, but it's just cold. And give it to you, the box.
Oh, and do I notice anything about the box as
It's
I take
very
it from
wet.
him? As he
And
just
there's a
said,
sloshing
it's not
noise.
damp.
Yeah, it's wet and there's a sloshing noise as he hands it over. And as you tip it up, you watch as water begins to drip out the side. Yeah.
Keeko? What did you do?
I tried to open it. I tried to be so subtle.
Oh,
I wanted to surprise you with the knowledge of what was in there. But turns out there's a lot of paper in the box. There might be something else in there. I'm sorry.
okay, but water's dripping out of it, and I'm no rocket scientist, but I know that water and paper don't go well together.
No, I tried to suck out the water. That didn't work. You're right. I'm sorry.
When did you decide that sucking a wet box was your go-to move here?
Well, no. When I had a bath.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
When I had a
Quiet,
bath.
Judge Decay.
I always say that. Quiet, Judge Decay. When I had a bath, I thought it'd be a great idea. I'll try to fix it. Didn't fix it. I hope whatever's in there is recoverable. As I give you the box, I'm beginning to, as I'm talking to you. No, I won't do that now. If you find anything, let me know.
Okay, well, I feel like you've destroyed whatever the contents may have been. So I'm half tempted to just go and give it to Rosalie and say that I was told to give this, like, pass this on by some shady man in the street.
That's a great idea.
Then they at least won't know that we're the ones who stole it.
I trust you.
I'm going to do that right before we leave, though, so there's no chance of them fact-checking me.
Smart. See, and this is why we're partners. In
Could you just throw
Not
it off the
crime,
boat as we
partners.
leave?
What?
Like, as we leave, just chuck it off the boat.
Oh, no. I
And then
mean,
it accidentally falls into the water, and then you're just like, oh no.
oh, like, as we're leaving, be like, oh, sorry, I forgot. I was supposed to
Oh,
give this to you.
here's your
Here,
bowl.
catch.
Yeah, oops.
Maybe as I go to give it to her, I'll trip and drop it in the water, then quickly recover it and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope there wasn't anything, like, breakable in there, and then hand it to her. I
That's
like
smart.
your
That's smart.
thinking. I like your thinking, Ted.
Thanks.
I should have had you as my partner on this.
Yeah, you should have. Maybe not wet, soggy box boy.
Pretend I heard nothing of this conversation. I'm going to investigate, and I'm not going to die. I'll come back. We'll talk about this later.
We let
And
him be the one investigating.
I walk off into the
What's
crowd.
gonna happen?
And as I walk off into the crowd, I'm going to start taking my 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 fifth nation. Ah, wait a second.
Whoa, what the? Hello.
Hey, hello.
You're just gonna sneak in like this?
It's just he
Probably
actually.
like
you
an
going?
hour late.
Why are you saying shush? It's like there's visual here, mate. Like
It's like he's still waking up because he got given dinner in his sleep.
No, I'm
Insight
waking up
check.
because I slept through every alarm.
Oh,
And
amazing.
phone call, thank you very much.
They don't count because my phone's always on mute.
Doesn't matter, I called you. It could have been an
That's such a
emergency.
millennial thing to
Could have
do.
been an emergency, mate. It
could
was an
have.
emergency.
It was. Yeah.
Wait, are you
It
telling
was your
me you
emergency
don't
contact.
have one of your fathers set to go through your silent?
No.
Oh wait, no, that's do not disturb.
That's too
Sorry.
disturbed.
Yeah, my bad.
To quickly catch you up, Keeko handed me a wet box, and now he's gonna go investigate a shady figure in an alleyway.
That's right.
Anyway, off you go, Keeko.
I feel like that's yeah.
Thank you. Basically, coat comes off, tie it around my waist. I reach in, pull that little mustache I have in my little backpack.
Jesus
The
Christ.
dead
Smack.
slug you've trained to sit on your nose.
100% smack that bad boy on, and I'm going to use walk this way to try and get
Blend
to
in.
to blend in through the crowd. Bit of like Ezio style, you know what I mean?
No.
Get through.
Okay.
That will be activity if I'm cool to do that.
Nah.
I believe.
That's a 9.
9 is a partial success. So talk us through walk this way, because it'll give the flavor text for it. Talk us through.
100%. When you make over disguise or coach your friends in with a specific crowd appropriate of your backgrounds, roll of creativity, 10 plus performance is flawless, you gain access to wherever you want to fit in while attracting little suspicion. 7 to 9, you fool nearly everyone. There's only a single gatekeeper. Ask any questions or stands in your way. On a miss, the only way to get access to where you reside is friends to make a comfortable, dangerous, or attention-grabbing role. So,
In this instance, you're trying to
one
sort of
person.
appear to be a member of the Fifth Nation, or just an innocent civilian, not yourself. You're trying to disguise yourself as not you.
yeah, I'm just trying not to be myself. The only other thing I can think of is whether or not same role, but it's out of uniform. Put on a disguise, physical persona, pull a community into thinking you're two different people. Roll creativity on a hit, mostly.
Walk this way is definitely the more appropriate one for sure.
That's what I felt. Yeah. Trying to get
Okay.
into the area without being realized I'm the same person trying to get there, essentially.
As you pull off the coat, slap the moustache on, ruffle your hair a bit, as you turn around to give a wink at Ko, you watch as Ko kind of looks around confused for a moment before like, as he realizes it's you. The disguise is working perfectly, Keeko. As you head on down the alleyway, Ko kind of like stands a bit sort of like nonchalant up against the wall of a nearby house, looking around, whistling. He sort of looks around nonchalantly, pretending to be very nonchalant. Nothing going on here. As you make your way down the passageway, Keeko, you pass by a number of doorways set into the walls on either side, clearly entrances to units or apartments, housing. This is this is when Wolf Cove is far more built up than we see in Avatar: The Last Airbender, so it's in a far better state at this point. And as you pass by one of the narrow doorways, you see a figure slouching in the doorway. They don't make eye contact with you. They keep their hood up of their sandy grey cloak. But as you pass by, you watch they kind of lean out to look at you, watch you follow, but then turn and look back towards the entrance, seeing Ko standing there whistling. And then you watch as they kind of look around a little bit in confusion.
Okay. So I just walk past them and they're just looking at me confused.
They sort of give you a bit of a glance before focusing back towards Ko.
Okay. Is there like a table or bench or anything nearby or anything like that?
There's a few barrels that have been left out to hold rainwater and fresh water. You could duck behind one of them if that's what you're thinking. No. He has another plan.
Yeah, I'm sort of... Yeah, actually, yeah, I'll go behind the barrels. When they're not looking, I'll crouch behind the barrel and just keep an eye on them for another 2 minutes and see what they do.
Yeah. Could you roll me push your luck as you try and hide behind these barrels in a narrow alley with only one entrance and one exit?
You did this on purpose, you bastard.
I don't know what you're talking about. You hear from the doorway, "Who's that guy? No, it can't be Keeko. He doesn't have a coat."
Oh, it's a 10. We're fine. We're good.
So you keep an eye out, Keeko. The second their attention is off you, you just immediately drop to the ground, splay out a bit of water in front of you, and skate around on the ice behind the barrels before melting the water behind you. So you duck there looking through a gap in the barrels. You watch as the figure turns, does a bit of a double take as you've just vanished. Looks up. You watch as they pull their hood back to have a look around. You can see it is a young man, probably in his mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s. A little bit hard to tell. Clean shaven, hair is cropped very, very close, shaved on the sides, very, very short on top. You can see he has bright green eyes as he looks around. A moment later, he steps down and begins to walk down the alley away from the docks and towards you, hidden away behind your two barrels.
I will pull him down to my level with an ice dagger as soon as he gets close to me and question him.
Okay. Okay. As soon as he passes by the barrels, Keeko, you kick out with your legs, the ice underneath his feet suddenly going hard and slippery. As he drops down, you grab a handful of snow, bends it into a dagger and hold it up against his throat. As you crouch on top of him, you watch as the moustache slowly peels and falls off, landing on his face. You watch as his eyes go wide as he looks up at you. "Oh, no. Fuck.
Like what you see, mate. What are you doing? I'm Keeko, but do you know that?
No. What are you doing? You're assaulting me. Get off me. As you see him sort of realize and begin to pivot.
Don't think I'm assaulting you. I think I'm just preventing something from happening. What are you doing here?
You're holding a bloody dagger at my neck, mate. Get the fuck off me.
I said, what are you doing here? Not what I'm doing.
Could you roll... I'm going to say this probably falls under Intimidate at this point.
Yep.
A few moments later, Keeko, you hear the sound of footsteps as Ko runs up behind you and goes like, "We got him.
We got
That's
him. 8.
8 looking great. As you press the dagger a little bit closer into his throat, you watch as a bead, a little droplet of blood begins to drop down the side of his neck. All right. Fuck you now. I was told to keep an eye out for you lot. You're on a bunch of wanted posters from Ba Sing Se.
Cool. All right. Well, why are you watching? What are they offering? Who's watching? Tell me, please. Otherwise, I'll push this closer to your neck.
I just told you, Ba Sing Se. Some toff up in the upper ring has been putting out word that he wants you. You and your friends.
Ooh. Are we talking... do I know it's the king or a queen at this time? Of Ba Sing Se? It's a king?
King.
Okay.
That was queen.
That actually. No, I think maybe it is a queen. Oh, God.
Because we've been talking about a queen the entire time.
Yeah, look, my immediate instinct was...
That's what I'm wondering, yeah.
His name is Keeko.
It is probably an Earth King.
His name is Rung.
Yeah, no, it is a king. It is a king. Sorry, it is a king. But there would also be a queen. It'd be both.
True, yeah, could be, yeah. That makes sense. Are we talking king or queen, mate? Are we talking a noble? Like, who wants to know more about me and my friends? Tell me everything you know, and maybe I'll let you go.
Look. All right. All I know is that there was word put out to keep an eye on you, keep an eye on your friends, keep an eye out for all of you, right? And just keep an eye to the eye out near to the ground for you lot and where you were traveling. Some, I don't know, toff up in the upper city wants to know where you are and what you're doing. Says that you're involved in something important with the Avatar, to keep an eye on you lot and learn what we could and report back.
Oh, okay. And that's a good start. That's helpful. I appreciate that. What's your name? What's your name, mate? Good to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Acti.
Acti. Good start. Good start. Well, I am Keeko. This is my partner, Ko.
Which is Ko cracks his knuckles and looks down.
We're acquainted. This is lovely. See, we're all getting along together here. Last question. What are you a part of? Are you by yourself? Do you have a faction, a guild, a family that you're really close with? Tell me everything about who you're friends with and I won't cut your throat.
Yeah, right. So I do not spy stuff, but like information gathering for Basing Save for a couple of people. I just
a couple of people, and those couple of people are
I don't know names. They don't give names. No, they don't give names.
Where are they from? What do they do?
It's all dead drops from the upper city, mate. I get the information through dead drops, all right?
I've heard about a Lee. I heard that name go around before. You know much about them?
No, I don't know anything about them. I don't get involved in that kind of shit, mate.
Can I do an insight check? Oh, not insight. It's a situation check.
Assess the situation.
Yeah. That was just immediate back to D&D memories. It was like, wait a second, no, wrong one.
Well, Owen did say insight check earlier, so.
Wait, why did my? Oh, there we go. Oh my god, I can't fail. 10.
Okay.
I haven't rigged.
Rolls.
I haven't rigged it. I swear, guys.
Doing pretty well. Keeko, you get the sense he's telling the truth. This guy is not a big fish in this. Information gathering does seem like he's telling the truth. He gathers information, he sends it back to people. What he's doing in the Southern Water Tribe, though, he's not from here. He's not dressed appropriately for here. He's not been here long. So you do get the sense there's more going on here.
Okay.
But he is telling the truth. He hasn't lied to you so far.
Okay. All right. Do you have any... Okay. I get the feeling you're a trustworthy man. Me and Ko, we respect that. We respect trust. I was Fifth Nation, as I'm sure you may know or heard about. You've been around Wolf Cove for a while. I respect trust. I appreciate that. Now, do you have any friends here in town before we part ways and we never see each other again?
No, I haven't got any friends in town. I wasn't supposed to be here for very long. I was supposed to be keeping an eye out for what's been happening in Wolf Cove. I was paid to come down here and pick up some stuff. I didn't even know you'd be here.
Okay, and how are you getting back home? How are you telling your friends?
I'll be sending a letter. And then I'll be sending a letter this afternoon. It's supposed to be immediate when we see you. We're supposed to get information back straight away. And then I'll gather a bit more information about... It's just some trade stuff, man. I was only supposed to be here for
That's
getting
cool.
a bit of a loadout on some shipments of things, man. Like it's not supposed to be this stuff.
I get that. How much are they paying you to send that letter?
Well, I don't know. There's not like a... I don't know how much it's worth. Like it wasn't like a set price thing. It was just like, you'll be handsomely rewarded if you can give us information on these people.
Well, I know about handsome rewards for letter giving. I've done a lot of letter giving in the past. What if I give you 5 gold and you don't send that letter? We part ways. If I hear about anyone that said anything about me and my friends here in Wolf's Cove, I find out when I get back home, I will find you and I will murder you, without a doubt. If I give you 5 gold, don't send that letter if I don't hear anything about it.
So the options you're giving me, right? You cut my throat here and now, or you give me 5 gold, and I get to live.
And you don't send that letter.
Yeah, I picked that one. I picked that option. Yep, that one. Yeah, for sure.
Done. I give him 5 gold.
Just throw it in his face and walk off.
Done.
Amazing. As you begin walking away, Ko's like, man, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, that felt good.
Felt good.
I mean, no. Well, sorry, old habits die hard. No, I won't do that much.
That was some pirate shit, man.
Yeah, no, it did bring back some old memories, I'm not going to lie. It sort of awakened that old skill I tried to bury. But I
didn't know you had that in you. That was kind of scary. I've just made a little note not to piss you off.
There's a reason why I like to camouflage. It's so you can be a bit sneaky, you know what I mean? You don't have to go in arms blazing all the time. Sometimes you can just
sharding all the time.
ice sharding. You don't have to come in there ice sharding all the time.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
Thanks for being my backup, Ko. I couldn't have done it without you.
You definitely could have. I stood there
around
and
the shoulder,
cracked my knuckles. That was my entire contribution to that. But yeah, no, for sure, always.
I could feel him tense up as soon as you did that.
Yeah, he was tensing up because you had a knife against his throat. But I mean, like, if you want to give me some credit, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Sure, yeah, he was really focused on the sound of my knuckles cracking as opposed to the knife currently like cutting his windpipe.
I was good crack. That felt relaxing.
Yeah, I've been practicing.
I felt the relief. Oh, that felt good.
It was good. It was really good. While this is going on, as you begin to make your way back towards the boat, Jedd. He's still muted. It's incredible.
Yo.
Hello. We had you kind of take off from the rest of the group as everyone reconvened outside Ko's mum's cafe before they headed down towards the docks. Is there anything Jedd wanted to do before you leave Wolf Cove? Otherwise, I had something in mind.
No, I want to get out of here as soon as possible.
Okay. In that case, then I had Jedd basically take off just to watch and see where the Black Orchid members go. Just keep an eye on them, see what they're up to. I got the sense that Jedd wasn't 100% trusting of them yet, and so sticking to the rooftops, just keeping an eye on them. In that case, then, could you please roll for me a skills and training as you try and stay stealthy using your airbending to stick to the shadows, stick to the rooftops. Keep an eye on them where they're going. He's rolling 9. Okay. That's a 9 success. Jedd.
For now.
As you take off your outer green and grey cloak, leaving you just in the very grey undergarments, wrap a few furs around, kind of blend in with the locals. I mean, there's lots of furs available now. Not the white ones that Keeko bought, but other ones. As you make your way over the rooftops, sticking to the upper parts of the buildings, which aren't super tall, but tall enough that you can kind of stay out of sight of the ground. You make your way towards the docks, leaping from building to building, using your airbending to provide a bit of an extra boost. Before too long, you catch sight of the members of the Black Orchid, Rosalie, Jai, Randul, and Rhinor, making their way back towards the boat. And there's a fifth person you don't recognize, a younger woman with dark hair, bearing a bit of a family resemblance to Granny Rosalie, who's on the boat. You can see that as they approach, she gives them a bit of a wave, begins to sort of talk to some of them. And what's more, your boat has been moved. You can see that your boat has been docked up only a pier or two away from their boat. It's been fully repaired, but it's all been fixed up and moved over towards them. And you can see a few barrels have been loaded onto the deck of the ship. In fact, there's a very burly-looking water tribe woman who has just finished putting the last barrel on the deck of the ship. You actually dusts off her hands, looks around the boat, gives a bit of a nod to herself, and makes her way down the gangplank, walking away from your boat back towards what looks like a trading post up towards the north.
Interesting. They had the audacity to move it. Wild.
There's Brandon's camera. And he's not even here to fix it.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, wait, it came back.
Okay,
oh, my God.
What?
Yeah.
He knew. Is it close enough to their ship that if something like someone tried to steal from our ship, they would notice?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So imagine two piers, roughly sort of like 8-9 meters long, about 1.5 meters wide, roughly sort of 20 meters away from each other. So very close. We're talking very close proximity.
Cool.
Is that good?
Important,
is that what you want?
Yeah, because someone needs to make sure that no one steals stuff from our ship again.
That's true. That's very true. Or steals your ship again.
Or it sinks without anyone knowing.
Or it sinks, yeah. Second time, right? Yeah, would you just be keeping an eye out? Would you be doing anything else? What's the kind of plan here?
Noticing that there's a fifth would actually worry me. So I think I'll just keep an eye out. Just hang around, watch what they're doing. Because we agreed to meet them.
Yeah, at the docks.
At the pier?
At
the docks, yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Before too long, you watch as the rest of your crew march down towards the docks. Lilly and Yara together looking around in confusion, not knowing where their boat is. Ko leading the rest of the group straight to the boat, and all of them meeting up before Keeko and Ko head off down an alleyway together. You know what they're up to. But it looks like they're trying to act like furtive and suspicious. You watch as Ko for a moment stands outside the entrance to the alleyway, whistling under his breath, and then quickly ducks inside again a moment later. Keeko taking his jacket off, tying it around his waist like a hoodie, and then disappearing inside. Back with the other boats, you can see your brother has a little bit of a chat with Lilly and Tilla before sort of looks around a bit aimless. You can see he sort of like looks up at the sky a little bit as if he's looking for you. Very half-hearted effort, and then kind of just shrugs. Would that be fair to say, Ted? Yeah, cool. Sort of looks up, gives it a bit of a look, shrugs, and then steps onto the boat and starts looking at the barrels and the containers of food and furs that have been delivered.
Cool. I will just fucking jump down behind them.
There's a rustle of fabric, Ted, Lilly, and Tilla, and then as you turn, you hear a thump as Jedd lands on the deck of the ship, looking around, dusting off his hands.
Is there a style thing here?
No, we don't have maneuvering.
Oh, you're right. I don't.
Joe, though, I will allow you to roll a push your luck to be extra cool. Hey,
If he rolls a low, he's got to trip over.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's gonna face
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. I achieved my goal. I achieved it, and that's all that matters.
6. That is a miss. You hear the sound of fabric rustling, a thump, and then another thump as you watch Jedd crashes into the sail and then drops down bodily onto the deck of the ship. Yes.
Retcon.
Yeah.
Before he jumps, can he yell parkour?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. You hear parkour.
As I try to are you trying to use my glider to go further? But I haven't used the glider in so long that I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, as you turn around, you see Jedd on the deck of the ship, a gash on his forehead, a bruise already forming on his cheek, one of his eyes turning black as he slowly stands up. Jedd, if you could mark the condition embarrassed for me, that would be fantastic, please.
Can I? Oh, I can.
Embarrassed.
Yep, there it is. It just showed up for me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Can I airbend, push him back up
Yes.
onto his feet?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And I'll give a little bow. Hey guys.
I'll bow back.
Nice. You liar. Troubles. I'm gonna mark it for you, you son of a bitch. I know embarrassed is one of the NPC ones. Trouble. There you go.
It would be insecure.
Yeah, let's go.
Insecure seems way more.
There you go. Done. I've done it for you, you little shit. I knew you were up to something. Pushing your luck right here, Andrew. I tell you what.
Oh no, I can mark.
I
can mark conditions. So good.
As the two of you clap and pat each other on the back for good work. Lilly watches Yara. Oh, sorry, you go.
So yeah, we should totally head now. If everyone's here, go. Also, there's a 5th member over there. Wild that they have another.
I think 4 was enough. 5 seems like a bit of a.
I already didn't know all the names.
Too much, you know what I mean?
We're still waiting for Keeko.
Why isn't he here?
He saw someone in an alley and thought it would be a great decision to go and investigate it with Ko.
I think he'll come back.
So,
or he's going to an alley with his boyfriend to get some private time before we're on the ship for a very long time.
A moment later, you turn around and see Keeko walking down, chatting with Ko, flipping an ice knife into the air and catching it again. Lilly, the blade is... It's a blood stain on the blade. Not a big one, but a little one.
That.
As Keeko flips the ice knife in the air, catches it again, and then do you realize you're kind of doing this in public and then just waterbend it back into water and let it plop onto the snow? Just splash into it.
It's the moment that I look at Lilly and she looks at me flipping the knife. I notice it. I'm like, just water into my hand. And hey guys, so what's new with you? I've got news. Any news while I was away?
What was that?
Parkour.
I look at. Okay, I'm down for parkour, but
Well,
long story
Jedd
short,
was down doing.
You
He
might
was
not
down
want
to
to
buy parkour, I believe.
down, but interesting. Okay, this is okay. They feel like this may be a little bit more important, but I'm keen. So Ko and I, we snuck away. I was being sneaky as I do. Walking the alleyway, walked through. Had no idea I was looking at this dude in like a sandy cloak, shifty, shady dude watching us from the alleyway. Snuck past him, had no idea. I snuck behind a barrel, slid around. It was pretty cool, pretty sick. Anyway, he seen nothing, walked past me, brought an ice knife to his neck. I questioned him a little bit. It kind of was like a little bit of a flashback to the, Fifth Nation days. Basically, someone paid him in the Fifth Nation, in Earth Nation, Basing Say, to watch us, want information. He didn't say who wanted it, just some hoity-toity people, some tops up in the top, wanted to see what we're up to with the avatar. Basically, I threatened his life and paid him 5 gold not to send a letter back home about what we're up to. That's kind of where we're at. So we were being spied on.
Still send a letter?
Well, I didn't kill him, if that's what you're asking, yes.
Yep, cool. He can still send a letter. Awesome.
Is there anybody else here working with him? Like, was he by himself?
And now
I asked him about if he knew anyone here, or if he had any other way back home.
Threatened him.
Yeah, now you've threatened him, a random citizen, just minding his own business.
Hey, look, if you want to go find him, I'll tell you exactly what it looks like, and you can go find him and kill him yourself.
I just want to go.
Yeah, I think at this point, leave.
Yeah, I want to go. I just don't want them knowing when we go. That's all I didn't want to happen.
I'd rather them just not know that we were here in the first place, but
Yeah, just so why didn't you
Kip's
just kill him?
probably sailed.
Well, Ko was there and
Lilly
killed a few people today, and I thought, I said I'm on a mend and I'm trying not to kill people. Yeah, the chief.
You want to take responsibility for that as well? Awesome. This is great.
Can we get Master Sayan back here? Let him know.
Yeah, can we just
I think everyone knows who killed the chief here, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Okay.
Me,
it was.
I got in trouble for it.
other people? Really, it wasn't me.
I'm not getting into this.
I've made a little boo boo.
Oh no.
The task force that gets corrupted by the Earth King. There are 2 task forces that Kyoshi creates that get corrupted by the Earth King at the time. The Dailee's the second one. I didn't think it was 2. I thought I was getting them conflated because I thought there's no way Kyoshi created 2 special task forces that both got corrupted by the Earth King. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. This task force was never given a name, the first one. So technically they're not the Dailee. I'm going to have to come up with a name for them. But it's actually, I was like, oh, I'll just double check this. Like, just make sure. But they're just called the Anti-Corruption Task Force, or the Task Force. And it was the Earth King Yi Ming who basically corrupted them and took control of them after Kyoshi had to leave the capital, which is exactly what we're dealing with at this point in the timeline. Oh, that's so funny.
The Bruce Lee.
I mean, like, come on, man. Why would Kyoshi make a second special fucking task force for the Earth King after the first lot were turned into? Oh, that's so frustrating.
You need the second task force to keep an eye on the first task force. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also like first child, second child. The first child's like the test dummy.
Yeah, who's gonna watch the Watchmen? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is just we're just gonna call it the. Look, I've come with another name. Any suggestions for another name like the Dailee that we can use?
Act.
Act.
Anti-corruption task force.
Act.
Yeah.
Sounds great to me. Anyone else got any other answers?
Just very similar to Acti, who the person that Keeko just threatened, which is kind of funny. That was actually his task force.
It sounded rather German. The Archie. No, not gone there.
No.
Nope.
I believe. Well, I mean, look. The funny thing I've always found is that plainclothes police is just our word for secret police. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the same thing. Yeah, we'll have to come up with a name. So if there's any suggestions for names like a little bit similar to Dailee, that kind of vibe, let me know. I'll do some stuff in the background, but we're gonna have to change them because technically,
That's a
This
good
is
one,
the
Andrew.
other. This is the other group Kyoshi founds and trains who then get corrupted by the Earth King. Fucking hell, man. Avatar lore is quite fun sometimes. Then everything changed when Avatar's
Sounds like
second task force was corrupted again by the same person. No! Who could have seen this coming?
Not the
Why is it
Avatar.
so easy to corrupt?
Oh man, it's funny because like Book Kyoshi is this like badass who like does make mistakes, but often not the same mistake multiple times in a row. And then it's just dumb. Why would you do this, Kyoshi? Maybe she didn't have the brain cell that day. Maybe Ted and Jedd. Maybe it's your actions that force her to do this. Yeah. Oh,
Can't help myself. Oops, another special force.
yeah. Let's come up with a name because Dao Fei are the bandit groups. Dai Li, because Dao Fei means bandit in Chinese. Okay, I might just do some translating. Let's do some Google Translate into Chinese so that I can find a really good word for it.
I agree. So Andrew, any excuses for why you were late?
Slept through all my alarms.
Hey.
Phone's on silent, so
Hey,
anyone who
Dave.
rings me, I never comes through. Been sick?
I'm just saying, we were saying you're the only person who responded to Owen.
Yeah, I was at uni. I was at uni this morning. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's happening this morning. Then he said something like, awesome. And then I got home and I immediately crashed.
Your excuses. Is this an Owen derail, by the way?
It
Bree?
is, yeah.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is-
no,
this
it's
is-
already been done. It's already been done. It's
Oh, sweet.
all good.
Tab's got 1.2k.
Cool.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
look because I don't know how to do it. Actually, that's a lie. I did just learn how to do it like 10 minutes after I said.
It's really
I don't
easy. It's
know.
/prediction.
If I had a nickel for
Oh,
every
no.
time Kyoshi founded a group that got corrupted by the Earth King, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. It's weird that it happened twice within it's weird it happened twice in like 30, 40 years that this shit happened to her, like within a very condensed amount of time, given how long she lived. Yeah. Come on to me. Heian Day is pretty good. That's the word for dark. I'm also translating Strike Force, which is
Corruption.
Daiji Liang, which I think is actually also pretty good and quite
It's
close to
Li
Dai
is
Li.
better.
Maybe that's where the word Dai Li comes from. Daiji Liang. I quite like that. I might use Daiji Liang.
I'll let Mr. Avatar know when he messaged me back to add it into his.
I've created another.
thing.
I've named this group for him. Yeah, thank you for that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Carry on. Where were we up to? You were currently chatting about Keeko's spy that he had
Relationship.
come across.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go chat with our friends before we embark.
Find out who that new one is.
Okay. Anyone want to come with me?
Also, is Avatar here?
Me.
or where's the Avatar?
I'll come.
Yeah,
come.
Kyoshi's
Yes,
currently talking to the members of the Black Orchid. You can see she's wandered on over as you guys get
What's already
ready.
up there?
You watch as she walks on over towards the boat, having a bit of a chat to them. You can see she's talking to, at this point, Rhinor. You watch as Rosalie heads on over, gives her a bit of a wave, and then gestures the younger dark-haired woman over. You watch as Avatar Kyoshi and the dark-haired woman bow to each other, a very formal bow. Not only from the Fire Nation. It's a very formal bow. You're not quite sure where it's from. They do this very, very formal bow. You watch as Kyoshi.
I want her on our boat.
Oh, so it's a formal bow.
It's a
That's
very
okay.
formal bow.
I'll chat to her.
Also,
I'm coming with you.
Ted, as we walk up the pier, can
Do you want me to look intimidating?
No.
I can't do that. Okay, good.
No. Can you like joke around a bit with me and push me into the water? Or like shove me towards the water?
Can you just pretend to be my friend for a minute? Yeah.
Okay,
Can I roll? Can I roll for this though?
Yes, this would be under technically a trick, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You're both
I
rolling
just
for a
wanted to
trick.
roll at how good my push was, but yeah.
Okay, if you're
Roll.
rolling for how good your push is. Now this is still a trick because you're not actually pushing her, are you?
Yeah.
Or are you actually pushing her?
Oh, I'm actually pushing her.
Oh, okay.
it's
that
like
case,
he's
then-
going flying into that
I
water.
want to push her in.
In that case, then this is skills and training. Are you using any airbending for this as well, or just your physical strength?
I might use a bit of airbending with it as well.
Lily, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna get fucking shot out of this thing like a cannon. Lily only weighs like 25 kilos, mate. Yeah, for sure. Skills and training. Let's go.
Can I also roll skills and training to keep my feet and
I
not
don't
fall
want
into the
to.
pier?
Wait, sorry. Can I? Before I roll, I don't
Yeah.
want to send her halfway into the ocean.
Oh, Only
like
a third
you
of the
wanted-
way into the
Depending
ocean.
how bad your roll
No
is,
sense.
you might.
Yeah, but I'm
Also,
saying like the
Team
Just Team
Rocket
Rocket
is-
the shit. It's
like
fine.
the higher the roll, the further away you get.
Okay.
No. So, how
Do
I
we want a
want
low roll?
to go.
Well, I want to
is-
get you into the water enough so that the box gets wet.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the box out and be carrying it, and I want you to kind of jostle me enough that I like drop the box in the water.
Oh, I rolled a 7, so you're in the water.
There you go.
Can I roll something so that I stay on the
asked for it.
pier and I like drop
Your
the
Honor,
box?
Your Honor, she would literally ask for it.
You may. I would say, Lily, this falls under probably more of a push your lucks. Oh, no, look, I'd allow either. Skills or training or push your luck. I would allow either.
Fail. Yeah.
Okay.
Your girl is in the water.
Here's what happens. You haven't really had much of a chat about how you wanted this to look. And so, Lily, as you sort of go to Ted, you're like, push me in the water. And Ted just goes, all right. And immediately, without any further like chat, without any further consultation, as you go to say more, I want to make it look like I'm dropping. You feel a very sudden push on your chest as Ted just immediately goes, all right. Poof. Like Baldur's Gate 3 shove. You just go right into the water, holding the box. The box goes flying. And as you look up, Lily, you realize the arc as you let go of the box. The arc is too great. The last thing you see as you drop into the water is the box flying overhead. Ted, you watch as Lily immediately drops the box, having been just shot backwards without any warning.
Mm-hmm.
The box flies up in the air.
So I did exactly what she asked.
Exactly what she asked for.
Yep.
As she lands in the freezing waters around the South Pole, around Wolf Cove, you watch as the box flies in a graceful arc, strikes onto the pier, and then cracks open.
Sick.
In front
What
of
comes out?
the Black Orchid, in front of Kyoshi, in front of everyone. Everyone sees this, except for Lily, who's
I give
currently
Lily a
underwater,
double thumbs
freezing
up.
to death. Lily, the second
Give her a
you
double
strike the
thumbs up.
icy cold waters of the South Pole,
And you freeze to death.
immediately feel, immediately freeze to death and die. You immediately feel the air in your lungs burn as your chest constricts in the water and you let out a gasp, losing quite a bit of your oxygen, that involuntary motion as you strike the cold water. As your mouth fills with frigid, freezing water, you immediately try to close down, falling into almost like the
Oh,
fetal
airbender
position.
back up.
You airbender back up. How do you do that?
Yeah.
She's
Well,
underwater.
I want to keep her warm with the air. So like that.
I'm going to need a bit more of a descriptor than push.
Like she's in the water. Like she's in the water. And I
And
She's
she's
want
not-
not power swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
Remember we got podcast listeners, Archie. There's people
wanna
who are
push-
audio only,
yeah.
mate. You got to help us out.
there's a person in the water,
Yes.
and I want to push air around
To
her
push the water away from her.
to push the water away and to keep
Yes.
her warm until she can get herself up.
Okay, here's what happens. As you push the water away from her, she drops further into the water.
Oh well.
I came with them.
No, you didn't.
Your Honor, I want you to look at the records.
Check the
Look
tape.
at the records. She say I'll go. Seeing this happen,
I'd like to sandbend
Can I go
concrete
after her?
shoes so she sinks faster. One less person to worry about when the
She
Daiji
wanted a
Liang
traitor.
take over.
Unless it's
Called it.
bounty.
Called
no,
it last week.
I
We knew
please
it.
go after her.
So you're gonna jump into the water to help me?
Yes.
Great. Now there's two people.
There are two people in the water.
You watch as Tilla dives over the side of the ship. Tilla,
Oh
the
god.
freezing water immediately causes your chest to tighten as you
I think Jedd should jump in after.
let out a
them.
gasp,
Question, Tilla,
losing quite a lot of
you
your
know how to
air.
swim?
Can Tilla swim? Can Tilla?
'Cause you're-
You're nodding, Tilla,
She's from
but
the desert.
no, Tilla, you're nodding. But do you genuinely think you would be able to swim, given that you've never seen liquid water outside of a cup before?
Yeah?
You could float, maybe. Hop in. We'll find out.
Man.
Come in. The
It's always
water's
the
freezing.
Arctic.
As soon as Tilla goes over the side, Keeko and Ko, next to you, you can see Ko's just like, oh my, what the? as he watches them both, watches Lilly get thrown in and then watches Tilla dive in. He turns to you and goes, she's from the desert, right?
Yeah, bloody tourists, mate. Let's get them.
As Ko and Keeko rush over and begin waterbending the two of you out, immediately you watch as Ko freezes ice to your clothing to make you buoyant and hold you up above the surface of the water so that you can breathe before bending the water over towards the shore, raising you up, and then brushing off most of the ice from you. Rather than trying to like warm you up by keeping you wet, he immediately dries the water on your clothes with ice bending, freezing it solid, and then smashing it and brushing it off so that you're dry as quickly as possible. You are both freezing. As Ko sort of turns around, he's like, I need some furs. Keeko, just what have you grab? Oh yeah, Jedd. As you grab the nearest furs, it's the luxurious white furs that Keeko had acquired with Lilly. And as you drape around these like $80 furs, 80 gold piece furs around the two of them, man, it feels soft. You feel good. It feels lovely. You're still freezing in this moment though. Could you both please mark a fatigue?
Can I instead choose to mark the condition angry?
Yes, you can.
Why are you angry about that?
I wonder, mate.
No, I love that.
You said push me in the water. I push you in the water.
That was the first thing that
There was
came
more
out
to
of your
this
mouth,
sentence. On the docks, you can see Kyoshi and the rest of the Black Orchid have walked over to see this box. You watch as Jai leans down and picks up handfuls of sodden, mushy paper that he begins to kind of like pick apart and look through before pulling out what looks like a symbol. Token. As he lifts it up, you can see the Black Orchid symbol on it. Turns around, looks and goes like, We left this for Avatar Kyoshi before we knew where she was. How? As he looks over towards the rest of you, eyes a little bit suspicious. How did you come to have this and why did you have it with you? How did this get ruined?
I'm gonna like walk over like with the thing, be like, I was given it by a black market dealer.
You watch as the young woman, who you have not yet met, you can see she walks on over, seeing you shivering, seeing you kind of really rugged up in these white clothing, white furs. You watch as she wanders over, clicks her hand and summons a bit of fire into her hands and holds it out in front of her, stoking the flames in her hands to make this sort of warm sphere around her. She makes these little ribbons of fire, pulling them up around, surrounding you with the fire. Lilly, you quickly find yourself warming underneath it. But as the fire begins to surround you, you realize that even though you're nice and warm now, she's not really slowing down with the fire bending as she continually moves it around you in concentric circles before sort of leaning in. Hey, it's okay. You're all right. You're not in the water anymore. You're going to be okay. Just wanted to understand, where'd you get this from? Because I delivered this to someone who I thought I could trust, and now I find out that I can't. Just want to know a bit more.
Well, we were in the markets and looking at fur cloaks and stuff like that, and this guy said that he had seen us with Kyoshi and that he was supposed to give this box to someone else who works for Kyoshi. Like, I think he said it was for people with a black sail, or someone with a black sail gave it to him for Kyoshi. I don't really remember, but he pretty much just told me to try to give it to Kyoshi.
Did he now? That's a blatant lie. Please roll to trick.
He definitely gave it to me.
Blatant lie. All of what you said is a lie.
Absolute success. Get fucked. My one good roll.
Fuck.
We're getting that one today.
As the flames begin to die down, you watch as she nods, looks up towards Jai, who shrugs. She nods. The flames dying down in her hands, you watch as she closes her hands together, extinguishing the flame before holding a hand out to shake your hand, Lilly. Sorry about that. My name's Ikemi.
Nice to meet you. My name's Lilly.
Yeah, good to meet you, Lilly. That's a shame. I thought I could trust this man. We often
Keeko
use...
told me he's a really bad guy, so if you want to use your flames on someone, you should probably get rid of him.
Just because he's bad guy doesn't mean he's bad guy.
Maybe that is wise. He has proven that he can't be trusted, and perhaps that is more than what I need to know to be able to deal with him.
He also
Yes.
overcharged us for a bunch of furs, so
Oh, did he? Well, I must confess, I tried to deceive you. I have no knowledge of why this was with our contact here. This wasn't something I delivered, this was something we were supposed to receive. But your words rang true. You knew that this was supposed to be delivered to people working for the Avatar, working with the Avatar with black sails. That is us. That is our group. My task was to try and pick this up. However, when I went to go and meet with our contact, he was strangely unable to find the shipment. Now you say that he passed it to you. Perhaps he was embarrassed that he had decided not to follow the correct protocol when dealing with the White Lotus.
Black Orchid.
We are members of the White Lotus, as well as the Black Orchid is like a subgroup. That is our task, our team name. But we are all members of the White Lotus.
Huh. Has Lily heard of the White Lotus before?
You've heard the name mentioned previously, but in terms of the actual context of it, no. Not yet, Lily.
You think it's just a flower?
Yeah, I think it's just a pretty flower.
TV show.
A code word for blowing things up.
You watch as Kyoshi nods and looks down at the sodden, ruined pieces of paper. Well, hopefully there's nothing important on here we needed to read, because this is a mess. There's not much I can do to recover this. Looks like it's been wet for a while.
Why are they so wet if it didn't land in the water?
Shut the fuck up, Ted.
As you say that, Ted, you watch as Jai nods. Yes, I was worried about that as well. That was suspicious to me. What have you been doing with this box? You said it was given to you to pass on. Have you been taking it? What have you been doing with it? How long have you had this for?
Well, I personally have had it in my possession for a total of about 20 minutes. About 10 minutes after I received it, and about 10 minutes now. The middle section of all that, I lent it to my friend here, Keeko, to take care of for me.
Keeko? Do you know anything about why the contents of this are ruined? Why they're wet?
Snow melts.
For podcast
so snow
listeners,
is made of water.
Keiko's just eating snow. You watch as Keeko just reaches down, picks up a bit of snow, and goes.
How's the front of the bus look?
I way out of this one, boy.
I dropped it in the bath. I was having a bath today, sat on the bench, and it fell in the bath. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. That's unfortunate. Well, hopefully it wasn't anything urgent we needed to know. That's not a lie. You're telling the truth. You had it with you in the bath, it fell in the bath.
Exactly.
It's not a lie.
It's not that I tried to pick it with water or anything like that.
Well, you
Why am I saying
I think you
things?
did put it in the bathwater at one point, didn't you? To like try and, or was it just your
No,
body?
Yeah.
He put the bath water in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bath
point.
fell in it. The bath fell in it.
That's a good point. Roll me to trick, just so that I know.
Why do I say things? I should just shut
Owen
up.
was none the wiser. You could have let it go.
I know.
My subconscious was kind of on it. I was like, he needs to roll something for this.
Yeah, I felt it would have been. It would have been a dick move to abuse this.
The trust.
Exactly right. Hey, look, trick. Sorry, trick.
Yeah.
My whole layout's gone weird. There we go.
I'm sure it'll be a great roll.
It's an 11. Yeah, it is.
Fuck. I'm sure it is a great roll. Just nods. That is a shame. Hopefully none of this information is required urgently. Hopefully there's nothing important in here we need to know. Well, if we're all ready to go, I think we need to take off. Kemi's going to accompany you on your vessel. We've got a few more things we need to get set up on ours, and she hasn't had a chance to meet and chat with any of you yet.
Question.
Yeah.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she's reasonably good looking, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
She's welcome.
You guys just gaslighted the fuck
Are you
out of some
speaking as
people, and I
Bree
love it.
or Lilly?
That's Bree.
Okay. Good to know.
Although Lily
speaking as
would
Ted.
identify her as an attractive woman, and given that she's just been both vicious, aggressive,
Yeah.
and nice,
And can firebend.
Lily has a crush for sure. She's
Okay.
like, this woman is insane. She's great.
Okay,
I like her.
Fair. Fair enough. Which is Akemi nods, heads over to the boat, like pushes one of the crates over and then sits on it. Leans back, hands behind the head. Yeah, right, we going?
Okay. Anything else that we need to do before we go?
Nah,
Have everything?
leave. Pretty good.
We don't need the avatar. We have another person
You can
We need
find
the
us.
hang out with.
Kyoshi
We did the
nods,
episode.
looks over towards the Black Orchid boat. That's okay. I was planning on speaking with Rhino a bit further as well. Given the situation with the Earth Sages and what's been happening, I just want to get an understanding of what's happened to my strike force in Ba Sing Se after my departure.
Did I tell Kyoshi? Was Kyoshi there when I talked about the whole spy thing?
She was over at the other boat, so no, she hasn't heard any of that.
I'll tell her a bit. I'll tell her what's going on there. Spies, keeping an eye on us. We're cool now. Paid them off.
Earth Nation.
Earth Nation. 20 people. All that stuff. All that jazz.
No, there's more to that story. Keeko, you can waterbend. Come over on the Black Orchid boat. Tell me everything that you saw when you were dealing with this spy. Everything that happened. Take me through what occurred. You can waterbend over to the other boat once you're done if you need to.
Okay, sounds cool. See you in a bit, guys. Bye.
Is Ko going with him?
Ko
Or is
sort of
Ko with
looks as if he wants to, but he doesn't really know how to ask. You can see he's a little bit like awkward about it.
I'd go to Kyoshi. Like Ko was there as well. He was my backup. Did you want Ko here?
Yeah,
with us as well?
I saw things as well. Important things.
Important things.
Yeah, important things. Which is
He
Kyoshi.
cracked his
Oh,
knuckles and scared him.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I've got no problems with that. Come on aboard, Ko. Well, if that's okay with you,
They're
Rhino.
packaged.
If that's okay with the rest of you, which is Rhino nods, goes, yes. Sorry, I remember his voice now. Fuck, his voice is one of the ones that's gonna fuck up my voice.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Come aboard, Keeko. Ko, you're more than welcome. We'll have a bit of a chat about this once we're on board. Oh, I think it sounds a little bit like my sore throat is adding an extra level of deepness to this. This sounds deeper than when the last time I did this voice.
Saucy.
Do you like that, do you, Keeko? Is that the kind of voice you like, brother?
God,
I know
I've got
why
so
I'm
much
saying brother.
bass.
It's slowly morphing into this voice, brother! As you make your way onto the boat, begin to take off, speeding across the water. Over the next couple of hours, as the boats begin to speed across the waves, who is doing what on the boats? I've just realized with Keeko and Ko on the other boat, who is mostly sailing this boat?
No one. We got
I
no
was
one.
wondering if you figured that out.
We're just standing.
Aaron.
Like they take off from the dock, and we're just like, we'll catch up, and then we just sit there.
Well, we had Yara, right?
Yara's not coming with you to Yokoya.
Yeah, it's not coming.
Oh.
And
I got a
neither's
Sandbender.
Neither's
It's,
Q.
That's Sandbender's is currently freezing.
As the other boat takes off, there's a moment of awkwardness, and then he watches Ko very like uncomfortably waterbends over to you. You can see he's a bit sad as he gets somebody who's like, you guys don't know how to sail, do you?
No.
Yeah, okay. I'll stick with you lot then. Let's get this underway. Damn, that's a shame.
Thank you so much.
Thank
No, that's
you,
okay.
Ko. We're so happy you're here with us.
I'm happy to be
You're
here
our
too.
favorite
guys.
waterbender.
Wait, really? Over Keeko?
Yeah, 100%.
You're so much cooler.
Like, do you see how muscly you are?
Yeah, Keiko's not that strong.
We'll get him there. He just needs to eat more protein. Less carbs, more protein. And then, like, he needs to be less scared of fat. Fat doesn't make you fat.
Yeah. Is that a vegetable?
No.
I eat vegetables.
No, let me take you through. As Ko then begins to launch into an explanation of exactly what
We should
macro and
probably head off,
micronutrients. Oh, he's doing it. He can multitask. Can he multitask?
No. When it's about foods and proteins, he can multitask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
You've never seen a man multitask this hard.
No. A few moments later, you see the boat skimming out over the waves. Keeko, as you look back, you can see the rest of the group with Ko now catching up. As the boat took off, there was a moment of awkwardness as like Rhino looks back and goes, They haven't even lowered the sail. What's going on back there? And then you realize, Keeko. Yeah.
Oh, they're rookies. Go help them. I just imagine that it's taken off and it's all like the bow of the ship's just raised up and it's like a white wake behind them. It's just like a speedboat catching up.
Yeah. As Ko catches up to the rest of you. As you speed across the waves on the Black Orchid raft, Keeko, I want to know how much detail do you go into with Kyoshi and the Black Orchid members?
With the spy?
Yeah.
100%. I'd tell them all about how like I blended in, my mustache was impeccable, Ko was right by me, keeping an eye on things, how sick and slick I slid in behind, person's name, what they were doing, the hoity-toity people, how I bribed him, how much I bribed him. Whole lot, you know what I mean?
Okay, perfect. And then the back on the other boat, what would you guys be doing during this journey? You know that it's going to be a day or two, probably 2 or 3 days actually, to sail over towards Yokoya. Is there anything you'd be doing in this time?
Is there any way that I can help Ko with making boat go faster?
Yes, you're an airbender. This is a boat with a sail. Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to
What a
airbend?
race.
Would you like to airbend some wind into these sails?
I was about to say no, but yeah, I do.
Well, actually, that's
Please
an interesting
blow
physics.
a hole in the sail.
But this is also an interesting physics
No.
problem.
It's fine because we're pushing wind into it. It's not coming from us on the
It's
boat.
not coming from you.
From...
Yeah. I was going to say,
Yeah.
like, depending on how you do it, but if you made like a little vortex of wind that pulls in wind from around and pushes
Like it
into the
comes
sail,
in from
that'd
the
be fine.
side and then-
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Could you roll me with skills and training, please, Archie?
Yeah, what am I doing?
Skills and training, please.
Skills and training.
Yeah.
Blow a hole in the sail. Blow a hole
baby.
in the sail.
We got a 10.
10.
Jeez, you got
It's
some
not.
little-
It's not long before the boat begins to pull ahead of the Black Orchid vessel. As it does so, you watch as Jai looks across, sees you airbending, and you hear him, Keeko, on his breath go, "No, absolutely not." And then begins airbending as well to speed up the Black Orchid vessel.
Jedd!
As the boat kind of shoots forwards, you watch as
maybe-
Randall
Maybe it's not a good idea for Jedd to help.
at the front of the boat, you watch as
That's all I know,
Randall
this is the
Roll
trips.
a 1, the
and
master gets,
Yeah, the mast gets
the
cut in
mast
half.
flies off.
Or the boat just takes off vertically as you just blow straight up. At the front of the boat, you watch
I
as
thought Jedd
Randall.
was just gonna sink us. He sees another ship and he's like, sink it.
I was like, how can I slow their boat down?
Yeah, Start
Crosswind.
puncturing holes in the mast.
Lilly just needs to start throwing bombs overboard.
Oh, don't worry, guys. I have these throwing darts that I can just throw through their sail.
Oh my god. As the Black Orchid vessel suddenly shoots forward, you watch as Randall at the front goes, "Oh, brother!" and slams down on the deck of the ship, tripping over himself. Suddenly the boat is suddenly shooting forwards, the sudden burst of speed. At the back of the boat, you watch as Rhino and Kyoshi have to hang on to the side of the boat for a moment. Rhino going, "Jai, what the hell are you?" "Oh, whatever. Carry on, Keeko. Continue telling your story." Over on your side of the boat, Lilly, we know that Ted is mucking around with the airbending. Jedd, Lilly, and Tilla. What are the three of you doing? You can see that the firebender, Akami, is currently seated there. Akemi, sorry. Not too concerned about the sudden speed. You can see she's occasionally she'll lift up one of the lids of the barrels, look in. grab like an apple, begin like just eating away at the apple as this goes on. You watch as she toasts it slightly with her firebending before biting in, having a little toasted apple. Looking around, content to just sort of hang out, not seemingly trying to question, not seemingly starting any conversations, just happy to sit there for the time being.
Can I stock take?
She's not eaten that much, mate. It's a single fucking apple.
No. Just of what we actually have, because I don't think I was actually getting for any of the purchasing.
Okay.
Like, I just want to make sure that like we have enough, like as me.
Yeah. Do you want to do an assess the situation for me, Lilly and Tilla? What would you two be doing?
Getting warm.
Getting warm? Yeah, fantastic, easy. You just like basically climb into one of the crates with furs in it and just like sit in there. Yeah, perfect.
I'm just gonna be here for the time being.
I feel like Lily's got a special way to get warm now.
I would like to.
Yes. What's your plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Hey. Chrysanthemum, what's your plan?
Oh my god. So Ted's currently helping with the ship, right?
Ted is airbending to speed up the ship. Ko is currently on the Tilla. Tilla is currently in the barrel, and Jedd's looking through the barrels.
Alright. As Ted is doing what he's doing, I'm going to walk up behind him and just lash out at him about pushing me off the fucking dock.
I don't want to get in the way of that roleplay. You tell me exactly what you say. Let's go.
I'm doing this so that I can clearly condition angry.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up behind him as he's doing his do. I'm going to jump up, smack him over the back of the head with my book because I'm
a bomb in his mouth
to reach.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking idiot. Why would you just push me into the freezing cold fucking water?
Are you dumb?
You didn't let me finish.
You said, hey, you know what'd be cool if you pushed me in the water. So I pushed you in the water.
Okay, so to start with, I didn't say, hey, no, it would be cool because that is in fact really fucking cold. What I was saying was, hey, we should do this thing where you should pretend to push me in the water. And as I was trying to say, to knock the box in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It has just occurred to me that I'm screaming this at him when Akemi's right there.
Hey, Jedd.
Ted, that last couple words.
Ted asked this question. Are you stupid? You're really considering that both of them must be, because they are having this conversation loudly.
I've said one word.
You said, are you stupid? That's not one word. You have said a sentence.
I said one sentence.
Are you stupid? And then they're now having this conversation loudly, publicly, on a small raft right in front of Akemi. You can watch, she has stopped eating the apple and is just looking at them with one eyebrow raised. You can see this in front of you. You're right next to her, pulling open the lids of the barrels as you hear Lilly go, I said to push me in so that we could like feign throwing the box in the water. And then you watch as Akemi just looks at you, looks at them, looks at you and looks at them again, and then slowly lowers the apple. It's like raises an eyebrow as she looks at them.
Honestly, that's kind of fair. Lilly is like angry enough that she wouldn't be thinking about what she's saying.
So glad I'm on the other boat.
Having a firebender.
I wish I was on the other boat.
As Lilly says, like, you were just supposed to push me a little bit and pretend to push me to knock the box in the water. She's gonna kind of like stop for a second, realize that Akemi's right there, and kind of just like look over her shoulder.
Akemi makes eye contact and smiles at you. It flashes you this big smile. Goes, No, please don't let me get in the way of what was an incredible tale. Please carry on. No?
Anyway, you're a fucking idiot. And I storm away from Ted and I walk back over to Akemi. I'm like,
you asked me to.
So Keeko told me that the box had water in it and he felt really bad about it and he thought that he was gonna get in a lot of trouble. So I tried to cover up for him and obviously I got very wet and cold as a result.
Yeah, it's just weird to me because you immediately were happy to blame Keeko over at the docks that he was the one who'd got the box wet. So I don't know, that just doesn't seem to kind of line up here. Like,
Look, when my plan doesn't go to plan and I'm angry and I'm cold and I'm wet, even though I was, cooled off and all that kind of stuff, don't think very straight. I couldn't think of any other way to cover for him, so I figured, well, the truth is usually the best way to go about these things, so therefore Keeko can tell the truth.
But you didn't think the truth was the best way to go about these things because you waited until you had no other alternative, right?
Yeah, because I had no alternative, I decided the truth was probably the best course.
It was the only course in this moment. That's what confuses me because it sounded like there was more you were going to say.
To make something up to save him, but
it sounded like there was more you were going to say to Ted, though. I feel like, do you want to?
No, I'm just really mad about him pushing me into the damn water.
Okay. All right. Sure.
So anyway, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
How's the apple?
Yeah, it was good. Just just thinking over some things, like to have a sit, have a bit of an eat, think through. It's funny because when we think through what you lot have been up to recently, it does seem like you kind of find yourselves in these situations a lot, right? Would that be fair to say?
What kind of situations do you mean?
Oh,
cold and wet?
Yeah, what happened at the Longhouse, stuff like that.
What do you mean?
I just wonder.
Yeah, I think time to play dumb. That's good.
And now's the time.
I want to know what it is exactly that she's trying to get at. About these things happening.
Yeah, like stuff sort of going wrong, people ending up in trouble, the Avatar being in danger, that kind of stuff.
I don't think we've actually put the Avatar in danger. She tends to just kind of throw herself into it.
You don't think any of your decisions or actions have increased the danger to Kyoshi at any point?
Well, that's not what you said initially.
But that's the same thing. That is the same thing.
Words
have this crazy thing where they mean things. Words mean things. And when we arrange them in certain orders, they mean other things. It's crazy.
We haven't actively put her in any dangerous situations that she hadn't already put herself in. We've just been there to help.
I don't think that's true either. I think, from what I've observed, I think you haven't intentionally put her in danger. But I think you have actively, whether intentional or not. I think your actions have resulted in Kyoshi being in more danger than she would have been without you there. The Longhouse is a great example. That escalated quite quickly, didn't it?
He punched his son in the stomach.
And? He's the chief of the Southern Water Tribe. If he wants
was mad.
Yeah, but that's not Kyoshi's problem. Kyoshi could have just walked away.
To be fair, I'm not even really sure. I can't remember off the top of my head how that whole fight kind of happened. Like, who was the first one?
Kyoshi was like, "Do it," and then you're like, "Okay."
Well,
no, but like, what was the catalyst? So he got punched in the stomach, and then who was the first one to?
The guards were then ordered to attack, like to take Keeko prisoner, and that's when you guys basically started to jump into Keiko's defense.
Kyoshi did say this code word for.
She did say the code word. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, she did say the code word.
Yeah. See, I didn't make the decision for anything to happen at the Longhouse. If anything, Kyoshi made the decision for things to happen at the Longhouse.
I'm not talking about decision making. I'm talking about actions. And that's where we come in. We're here to make sure Kyoshi doesn't die, doesn't get maimed, doesn't get mauled. We're here to make sure that she lives. Mostly intact. Now, we can't stop her from doing shit herself. Well, we're going to try not to stop her from doing shit herself. We just need to make sure that the people around her aren't actively increasing the danger that she's in on a day-to-day basis.
So If you're trying to help her, then where were you on Little Island?
Kyoshi was never supposed to go to Little Island. She wasn't even supposed to be there. If she hadn't met up with your group, she never would have gone there. She was supposed to be heading back from the Fire Nation. We were ready to meet her at Yokoya. Not openly. We were going to still stay to the shadows. But what has happened at Little Island, and at Wolf Cove has now forced our hand. We've had to come and step forward out of the shadows.
So you're just sneaking around looking at people from the shadows like a little creep?
I don't really think you're in a position to make a judgment on that, Lilly.
No, I was going to say I knew I liked you.
Yes. Hey, tell me more about this Tomoko person. What's their deal? I was chatting to my grandma. Well, great-grandma, I should say. I just call her Granny. Rosalie, the nice one with the cookies.
Oh, she's your granny?
Well, great-grandmother, but yeah, I just call her Granny.
Oh, her cookies are really good.
Yeah, they're pretty good, actually. I'm going to be honest, it's one of the major reasons I'm coming along on this trip. That and...
She kept making jokes about them being poisoned, but I'm pretty sure they were jokes because I feel fine. And I had like 4.
You would feel fine, though, because, like, some of the cookies have the poison, some have the antidote. She's very careful how to dish them out. She makes sure that, like, you have at least one of each.
So you should always eat an even number of cookies from Granny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'd be rude not to.
What if you get 2 poisoned ones?
Yeah, well, I mean, double poisoned. You're really dead then. You watch as she smiles and winks.
Yeah.
Right,
That's a good thing I ate 4, because surely 2 were poison, but also 2 were antidote.
Probably. Yeah, no, she's getting on a bit, a bit dementia. But, I mean, I'm sure she still gets it right when she hands them out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel fine, so I'm going to say yeah.
She laughs. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. They're not poisoned. Sorry. Old family joke. She's been making those jokes since I was a kid.
I wish she would tell me about that poison she was talking about, though. It was like some kind of powder thing. I think it was entirely fake, but it sounded really cool.
Yeah, look, probably she's made up a whole bunch of ones. I think my favorite one was iocane powder, which is odorless, colorless, tasteless. Whole thing about that. But that was
I think
not
that's
true.
the same one that she was telling me about.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't exist. It's not real.
Shame.
It's just sugar. That's the
Yeah.
But no, tell me about Tomoko. Yeah, nice try.
Really hoping this whole like roundabout conversation will take
Tell
away
me
from that.
about Tomoko. Because I mean, we don't have much info on her. We know that she's an associate of Laogay.
She's a pretty private person. I've only met her a couple of times.
Yeah, I believe you first met her at Yokoya, and then you've bumped into her since, right? Or not?
Don't know if I should lie or not. God damn it.
You just said that you feel the truth is always
When
the
in
best
doubt,
option.
lie.
Yeah,
Always
but
works.
Lily's developing a crush, so she wouldn't want to lie.
Hasn't gone astray for us so far.
Bree wants to lie. Lily doesn't want to lie to her. Yeah, I've seen her briefly since then.
Okay.
What do you know about her? I don't actually know much about her other than the fact that she's she works for Laogay, or she's like trained under Laogay or something.
Yeah, she's been associated with Laogay for a couple of years now. We're not quite sure how long they've known each other. We've been keeping an eye on them. Laogay because of his connections to the Avatar, and then once we found out his other proclivities, we then decided it would be best to keep an eye on anyone associated with him. We don't have anything concrete on Tomoko. We're hoping to learn a bit more about her, make sure she's not a danger to the Avatar. She's moving in the same circles.
That she's older than she looks.
Yes, we've heard that too. Laogay is older than he looks as well. We're wondering if maybe there's something there that they've been... Maybe some cream or lotion they're applying to their skin? Keep it nice and fresh? Maybe something else?
I'm not sure. She wouldn't tell me about those things anyway. I think she thinks I look too young already.
Okay. Well, she's sort of like gives you a bit of an up and down and laughs a bit. You probably don't need that cream for a couple more years yet. No,
She did give me this really cool dagger though, and I'll show her the stone dagger.
Ah, now that is interesting. You know, the last time I saw one of these was in the back of a Fire Nation diplomat.
Huh. Who?
Ah, no one you'd
Anyone
know.
I know?
No,
Yeah.
no one you'd know. But a man who was ambitious, power hungry, and had a, shall we say, an unhealthy interest in the liberal application of fire.
He doesn't sound like a very nice person.
No, I wouldn't have described him as one. He was someone we had our eyes on as well, as potentially working with some, I don't want to say extremist groups within the Fire Nation, but there are those who believe that the Fire Nation has more to offer the world in a position of leadership, and he was a very active member in that group. And then all of a sudden, we find him dead. Well, this is back when I was working for the Fire Nation military, not when I was working for the the White Lotus or Black Orchid. No, then all of a sudden, he's found dead within his room, no signs of entry. A stone dagger of unknown make, buried in his back, lodged between two of his spinal discs. Quite hard to remove. You say that
That's pretty accurate aim.
Tomiko gave this to you.
Yeah, but I think a lot of earthbenders can make similar stone daggers.
Oh,
Couldn't be too hard, right? I don't know much about bending, but I can't imagine it'd be too hard.
I'm not going to ask to keep this, but would you permit me to take a sketch of it? Just a quick drawing so that I can show this to my grandmother.
Yeah?
Cool.
Sure.
Maybe it'd be best if we can show this to the others once we arrive at Yokoya, or maybe when the boats get rafted up for the evening, we can show her. Just make sure she has a look at it. And we can get Rhinor's opinion too. I mean, he is an Earth Sage. He can probably tell us exactly how easy it is for any Earthbender to make a dagger like this.
Is he an earthbender as well?
Oh, yes. He's an Earth Sage. Well, ex-Earth Sage. But yes, absolutely. A very, very, very skilled bender.
That's cool. Because, yeah, I'd imagine it'd be kind of like an ice knife. And I know, like, quite a few waterbenders can make ice knives pretty easy. So I couldn't imagine it'd be much different.
Yeah. Unfortunately, fire knives don't hang around much longer after we've let them go. And you watch as she
You can make knives made out of fire?
You watch as she shifts her hand and pulls a little, almost what looks like a burning torch coming out the back of her hand that she then flips around to the front. But as soon as she opens her hand, the fire disappears again. Kind of. I call it a fire knife, but it's not really. It's just a bit of concentrated fire bending.
That was so cool. I wish I was a bender.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to be able to, like, just make stuff out of nothing, you know?
Like you and your bombs. You make stuff out of nothing. Don't you?
Motherfucker. I wouldn't really say it's nothing. Like, I can't just make
Bits
fire
and
appear out of
bobs, random pieces of what other people would probably call junk, and then in your hands, lethal weapon.
I don't just make bombs. I made a washing machine.
A what?
I pull out my washing machine. See, you put it in this refined seaweed in here, you put some water in, and then you put your clothes in that are dirty, and then you spin this and it agitates it and it cleans all the clothes.
Huh. Okay, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's actually
I still
pretty
wouldn't call it making it out of nothing. It is made out of stuff.
Well,
But
I mean, we're talking sticks, a bucket, some gears, and rendered seaweed. Ugh. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, most people would consider that junk, and yet here you are, turning it into something else. I think that's.
yeah, but junk's
pretty
not
impressive.
nothing. You literally just pull fire out of the air.
Firebenders are a bit different. The others have to. Well, I mean, airbenders, I guess, are pulling air out of the air. But everyone else has to. Yeah, I guess firebenders are a bit different. But do you know, it's not from nowhere, our fire. It's from within, the energy that we use within.
You must have some pretty cool energy then.
Ha! Flattery will get you everywhere, Lilly.
Good to know.
While you two are having this chat, Ted, Jedd, Keeko, Tilla, is there anything else the three of you will be doing while the boat skims over the waves back towards Yokoya?
Debating whether we need to push this woman overboard.
Okay. Noted. Noted. I think you would make...
Don't, I'm in love.
Collective brain is also thinking the same.
I think you would make Vivaldi very sad if you pushed her NPC over
Stay
the
in
edge.
furs.
Yeah, probably. That's kind of keeping me from not doing it. But
That's cool. Don't do it.
Frozen Braid would like to not. I'd like to stay in my furs.
As you stay like wrapped up in the box of furs. I mean, you are feeling much, much more toasty, Tilla. It's very comfy. You soon find yourself sort of lulled to sleep. The motion of the waves against the boat. Before too long, you're unconscious, drifting off into a sound sleep. Perfect. Well, I think that might be a good place to wrap up for tonight. As it gets towards the evening, the two boats come together. Ted, if you've been airbending for a good chunk of this time, you're pretty tuckered out by the end of this. You are starting to feel like exhaustion setting.
I'm a tuckered boy.
You're a tuckered boy. You go to climb into one of the crates. You see Tilla's in there fast asleep. Find another crate.
Airbender out.
Airbender out over the surface.
Overboard.
Airbender overboard. What was that? Oh, Tilla wants to be thrown overboard. Okay, she did ask.
The fuck is I will bring you down with me.
As the boats raft up, tied together, so they're forming a bit of a pontoon overnight while you all sleep. That is where we will wrap up for tonight. We'll come back next week as you arrive back at Yokoya. We'll do a bit of a time skip over the journey back. There's not too much crazy. Actually, tell you what.
Level up.
Keeko, can you please roll me? I'm going to say this is a push your luck. Keiko's going to find out how eventless or eventful the journey back is, whether or not.
I was going to say how many levels we level up.
yeah, basically.
I mean, let's test my streak. Let's push my luck to 7. Just
7. Okay.
Good. We level up 7 levels.
No, but at the beginning of the next session, we will go through the growth questions and we will be leveling you up. So have a bit of a think over the next little bit what you'd like to take. We'll address it in the beginning of the next session, what you get as part of your growth.
I'll unlock a moment of balance.
Nice. Okay, that was easy. We'll talk through how that happens next session. We'll do that at the beginning of the next session, so you've got it all sorted. But yeah, have a bit of a look through, see what you'd like to take as your growth. But we will have you all go through a growth, absolutely. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We are going to go and raid a lovely friend of the channel. Tonight, that is going to be Crit Animus, who are currently doing their Vecna Eve of Ruin campaign. So let's go and jump into that. I will get that loaded up. They've only just started recently, so let's get that all sorted. While that raid is going across, for those of you watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much. It really, really helps us out. Remember, on YouTube, you need to tame the algorithm, force it, bend it to your will. Much like a Firebender or a Waterbender, I need you to be algorithm benders by leaving a comment, a like, and subscribing to the channel. If you thought that was really lame, guess what? It was, and you now have to subscribe. You've just been caught. Sweet. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all in the next episode. We've got our Return of the Giants campaign tomorrow night and more Avatar Legends next week. So we will see you then. Thank you, everyone who joined us, especially those who were up super, super early in other time zones. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all in the next one. Until then, farewell, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.